But I've been watching a couple of videos on the pay to win aspect of Diablo Immortal, and it's a lot of stuff that we all kind of either knew or expected or should have expected, and it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people complaining. Hey there, Myrtle. With good reason, but as I've said here many times before, it's like almost like in politics and in anything, unless you're willing to get involved yourself, um, and like make a game or like get involved with game making that you can have a direct impact on it. What's done is done, as this one video guy ended up saying. What's done is done. I mean, Diablo Immortal's out. The game is how it is right now. Sure, they could update it, but the damage, quote unquote, has been done. So that's why, as I've said for Cyber Hunter, for many, which is another NetEase game, uh, and many other games, if you're lucky enough to have a PC or a console, your options for video games are immensely bigger and greater than anybody on mobile. If you are, like me, restricted basically to a mobile device, the options for years have been extremely limited. And having any AAA console PC level game come to mobile is a massive win for mobile gaming. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be a game riddled with ways to take your money, as is the classic traditional thought of mobile games like Angry Birds or whatever. It's like all these games, like the clickbait games, we know they just want your money and stuff like that, just like in stupid little ways, and people will be like, hey, $2 here, $2 there, whatever. The games are getting a little more intricate now in ways to get money, and depending on how you want to play the game. Unfortunately, with Diablo Immortal and apparently a couple other games out there as well, you're really going to have a tough time, potentially even an impossible time, unless you're spending money. I don't know how much, I'm just saying money in general. So free to play versus pay to win, at least in Diablo, is a very real thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't enjoy the game. As I've talked about here before, you gotta, at least I have stopped thinking about games as games, and I now see them as almost like metaverses in which I can play with certain people that I know are going to play a certain game. I know certain people are only going to be in PUBG Mobile, for instance, or they'll never play Cyber Hunter. So I know if I go to Cyber Hunter, unfortunately I won't play with XYZ person. But if I go to Call of Duty Mobile, guaranteed there's like 3 people on there. I can almost guess who's going to be on Call of Duty Mobile right now. So it's less to me, as a content creator, as a streamer, as an old school gamer, it's less to me about the actual game. As long as the game's fun and I can have fun playing it, the game to me is about the people that I'm playing with and having fun and creating cool, fun, interesting content with them while exploring a brand new game that has never before been seen on a mobile device. And I think a lot of the critiques of Diablo Immortal, which we should have known were coming, come from the fact that it is actually a cross-platform game. So there are PC players as well as mobile gamers gaming this shit. I think if it was simply a mobile game, there would be a ton less people playing it and they'd make a lot less money. But you would see a lot less shit talking about the game, because at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Play Raid Shadow Legends? Play Raid Shadow Legends. The longest unofficial sponsor of this stream. So unfortunately, until there's a revolution in mobile gaming where I can play my mobile games on, where I can play PC games on my mobile device, not just PC ported mobile games to a mobile device, we got to eat the shit. We got to eat the shit. And knowing that, just like I was talking about earlier, I can't remember what I was talking about, but knowing that that's what it is, the uphill battles, I'm connecting everything here. Knowing Genie joins us here. Welcome, welcome. I'm just ranting here. Knowing that these games are inherently going to be, especially in a game like Diablo, going to be pay to win if you're going to go into the PvP realm. The goal of a gamer who doesn't want to go broke is to spend as little money as possible on these games while enjoying it as much as humanly possible for as long as I can. Seems pretty logical and rational and reasonable, I think. I think one of the other issues that we're running into now is something else that I've talked about here on the stream before, which is we've now moved into the era of the forever game. When I was growing up, I was born in 1986. I'm 35 years old now. I've played from Super Nintendo on, basically. Games would exist for a split second of your life. Split second of your life growing up. Sometimes you'd rent it for a weekend, and that's it. You'll never play that game again, but it might have had a massive impact on you. Now, we've moved into the era of the forever game, where not only the companies and games that are coming out, not only do they want you to stay in their platform, on their platform, in their atmosphere, in their ecosystem for as long as humanly possible, because that's how they're going to make a lot of money. People want that community. They're hungry for it. So it's this weird time in space where people are hungry for this community and this thing that they can call theirs and grow and be a part of and stuff like that. And companies are creating this. They're giving it. It's like a drug dealer, a crack fiend, and a crack dealer. Just like, give me the crack. You want crack? Here it is. Like, here you go. The problem is the people that are getting really invested in these games are not going to want to go explore other games, or might not even have the money anymore to spend on other games. So we're in a weird spot where these forever games, everyone's trying to find the next forever game to come out, because that's where all the money is. Something that's going to last forever, and just like people will just keep on spending money, battle pass after battle pass, fucking pack after pack. Whereas that's probably going to ruin gaming. Like, in the end. Whereas gaming, when I was coming up, it was literally you put out a product and it's done. Boom. You can't pay for anything. You can't advance the story. You can't get extra skins. The game is as it is. And it costs X amount of money. And now the games are free, but you can't necessarily complete them without paying a lot of money, or compete in them without paying a lot of money. So it's almost like a choice back to the gamer and the consumer, ultimately. Would you pay what I used to pay for video games, which was like $60? Let's call it $60. Would you pay $60 for Diablo Immortal right now? Like, if you didn't have it and it came out and you wanted it, would you pay $60 and there's no caps, there's no extra things to buy other than maybe cosmetics that don't really affect the pay to win, like the power of your guy? Would you pay the $60? Some people would. A lot of people wouldn't. And that's a big problem. I don't know what the solution is. That was just a little bit of a rant of thoughts that have been building up inside my goddamn brain about the past, the present, and the future of gaming to a point. Which I think is why I like Battle Royales the most out of all the games that you can play. Out of all the games that I do play, at least. It's the most fair, arguably. Sure, there are gun metas. Sure, there are, for instance, in Apex Legends, there are character metas. But ultimately, it comes down to a question of skill, knowledge, and real-time problem solving. And as long as you can... And those are all internal things. I don't have to pay money for any of that shit, so... It feels the most fair out of all the games that I play. Marley is here. I just realized I haven't done the Instagram notification here, so I'm just fucking... I've been talking for so long. What song? Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, brush your shoulders. Ladies is pimps too, go on. You gotta brush the shoulders off from yesterday, as I, for the third or fourth time, fell out of Diamond 1. R.I.P. More mountains to climb. Let's go.